The axis of evil alliance is gaining momentum.
Thank you very much for the hospitality and for taking the time.
Military cooperation between Russia and North Korea is rapidly increasing. Following ammunition and ballistic missiles, Pyongyang has sent thousands of soldiers to Moscow.
We were based in Vysokoye at the pioneer camp. Everything was fine until the Koreans were brought in.
And importantly, such military cooperation between the two dictatorial regimes is not only directed against Ukraine. Everything Kim Jong-un receives from Putin will be used against South Korea. Is Seoul ready for a military confrontation with its aggressive northern neighbor? What is the state of South Korea's military-industrial complex? And how can South Korea assist Ukraine in the war against Russia? Let's figure it out. The deployment of North Korean military personnel to Russia shifts the balance of power in the Ukrainian theater. South Korea must engage, so Seoul's role in the confrontation between Kiev and Moscow will grow.
We adhere to the principle of refusing direct deliveries of lethal weapons, but in this case we can reconsider this issue more flexibly, depending on North Korea's military activities.
As of today, South Korea has one of the most powerful and modern military-industrial complexes in the world.
It is one of the leading countries in the world on the global arms export market. According to the Stockholm International Institute, in 22nd year, South Korea's military-industrial complex increased its sales of its own types of weapons by 140%.
Besides its powerful military-industrial complex, Korea has large Soviet equipment reserves. For instance, in the military warehouses of Seoul, there are T-80 tanks which were transferred to it by Russia in the mid-90s. This equipment was used to equip 2 battalions of 1 tank brigade. According to various sources, South Korea has between 50 to 80 T-80 tanks. In addition to tanks, Seoul also received up to 100 units of Soviet BMP-3. The obvious advantage of Soviet equipment is that Ukraine can send it to the front immediately without any additional training. The experience of the heavy, exhausting and bloody Korean War in the 1950s made Seoul one of the largest producers of artillery ammunition in the world. During the war, South Korea, through the United States, supplied the Ukrainian Defense Forces with up to approximately 500,000 rounds of 150mm artillery ammunition.
Up to 500,000.
But the South Korean defense industry is not rich in ammunition alone. In the tank category, Seoul has its own extensive range, starting from the K1, K1A1, and up to the most modern K2 tank. In total, Korea has more than 2,000 tanks in service. If the K1 tank is a licensed version of the American Abrams, where Korea relied on technologies subject to US export control, the copy of the American Abrams tank is the K1A1. However, the South Korean K2 is the most modern tank in the world. As of today, the K2 is the only 4th generation tank in the world that is in service. The technical specifications of the Black Panther are as follows. The combat weight of the heavyweight is 55 tons. The main armament is a 120mm gun with a barrel length of 55 full calibers. The engine, with a power of 1,500 horsepower, provides a solid maximum speed of 70 kilometers per hour. The K2's range is 450 kilometers. During the development process, an unusual lock task for tanks was set by the engineer. Firepower and armor took a back seat. Maneuverability and technological advancement came to the forefront. The tank's protection system uses radar and a thermal imager to detect shells and missiles up to 150 meters. The operating principle is as follows. The radar captures and tracks the projectile. The computer calculates the flight trajectory, after which counter-missiles eliminate the threat. The Korean system requires about 0.2 of a second to intercept an enemy projectile from the moment of detection. In addition to tanks, South Korea has a very impressive artillery lineup. Here you have about 1,300 modern 150mm K9 Thunder self-propelled artillery units, and about 1,000 not as new but reliable K55 and K55-1A self-propelled guns. K-55. Similar to tanks, the self-propelled gun is a modernized copy of the American M109. Technically, the South Korean K9 Thunder self-propelled artillery is not inferior to its Western competitors.
The firing range is up to 30 kilometers with a standard high explosive shell and up to 40 kilometers with a rocket-assisted shell. The rate of fire is up to 6 rounds per minute. It is one of the most modern self-propelled artillery systems in the world. It's no coincidence that they are in service with India, Estonia, Norway and Australia.
In addition to a variety of modern equipment for conducting ground warfare, Seoul also has its own air defense systems. For instance, the South Korean medium-range surface-to-air missile system KM-SAM or Cheongung uses hit-to-kill technology, which allows the system to intercept ballistic missiles as well. The characteristics of this system are the radar can track up to 40 targets at once. Detection range is 100 kilometers. Missile speed is 4 Mach, or about 5,000 kilometers per hour. And max engagement altitude is 15 kilometers. These systems are designed to shield Seoul's front from North Korean ballistic missiles, now used by Russia in Russia's war on Ukraine. Korea also has its own very promising models of cruise weaponry. A new supersonic missile was unveiled just recently during the air show in Seoul. Although the name of the missile is still unknown, it is certain to be exported abroad. There is no name yet, but there are specifications. The missile class is air-to-surface. The maximum speed is 2.5 Mach 1 Mach, or about 3,000 kilometers per hour. For comparison, German Taurus missiles have a maximum speed of about 1,000 kilometers. The declared flight range of the missile is 300 kilometers. The missile uses a ramjet engine. The primary carriers of the missiles will be South Korean FA-50 and KF-21 fighters. Experts expect that the introduction of supersonic weapons will significantly enhance the appeal of South Korean fighters in the global defense market. In the context of strengthening military cooperation between Beijing and Moscow, it would be a logical outcome to strengthen military ties between Kiev and Seoul. And despite the law prohibiting the export of South Korean weapons to warring countries, military cooperation and even the transfer of South Korean equipment to Ukraine is quite possible.
Deliveries through third countries, for example, the same USA or Poland. That is, South Korea transfers weapons or equipment to Ukraine's defense forces through the USA. The USA, replenishing its own arsenal with South Korean weapons, transfers its weapons to Ukraine, which are located in European countries.
That's all. Don't forget to write in the comments about which types of weapons you would like to learn more about, like this video, and of course subscribe to our new Arsenal channel. The link is in the description below the video.